And thank you for Kylie for setting up on this location, and Arne and Golf Federation for having us here. We are very pleased that we have been invited to share our products with you today. I'm Mikkel, and I'm the head of sales and marketing, and I have Peter, who's our founder, CEO, and the architect behind pretty much all of our products. So we have expert help. If there's something I cannot answer, I'm sure Peter can. Yeah, Peter's been there from the beginning. I just joined in November last year, so bear with me if there's sometimes I have to look at Peter and have him help me explain our products exactly. Just a brief sum up, and I think that some of the stuff that I understood, you went through some of our products, but we'll look at the voucher system, we'll look at our self-service kiosk, we'll look at our driving range payment solution, and we'll probably go outside and get some nice fresh air and go down and see the actual payment system on the dispenser here. And at last, we will look at our simulator solution, which I also heard, I think you maybe said something about. And then we'll have time for Q&A. This is an approximate timeline. We will just see where we spend the most time, because I would like to see this. We have presentation and some slides, and we love to tell you about our products because we love our products, but we're also here for the dialogue. So please ask the questions. It's more important for us to find out how your business and golf course works, so we find out how it best fit with the product. So don't be shy to ask questions, even though we have slides and presentation. But just a quick intro. Peter started the company more than 10 years ago now, in 2012. I actually met Peter just a couple of years before he started the company, because I was actually going on a golf trip with some friends, and we were playing a mini Ryder Cup, and through mutual friends, Peter was actually on the same trip. So we met once a year for more than 10 years, and then 3 months ago we got the chance to work together. Before he founded ProShop, Peter had another company that he sold and started getting time to play more golf, would often go to the golf club very early in the morning to get in 18 holes there. And often the issue going to the golf club was there was nobody there at the golf club. So sometimes in some clubs the check-in would be a problem. Sometimes you would need balls or a birdie guide in the club. So you thought, can I do something about this so that you get a great experience even though there's no staff at the club? And that was actually the original machine, a big vending machine, like a big Coke machine you see with bottles in it. It could handle more than 200 products. But it had an intelligent screen where you could actually check in and do your tee times and your green fees on there. So that was the original product back in 2012. A year after, Peter did a lot of market research. I actually think Peter lived in the first golf club that has this unit. So Peter would be the first one in the club in the morning and see how people interacted with the machine, and be the last one to leave the club in the evening, because he wanted to see the full experience from start till end in the golf club. I don't know how many months you stayed there, but I know it was quite a long time. Yes, and that's also the story about GolfMore. We listen to the clubs and the golf players to try to find the best match to make a smooth solution for any kind of problem that we can help solve or improve. So after the first big vending machine, he actually did a machine that just did the check-in and the green fee for the clubs that didn't need all the products in there as well. So that was in 2013. After that, he also was asked, we have all these vouchers, paper vouchers for green fees and all that. Can you do a voucher management system for us? Peter did the voucher management system, put it into an app in 2016. Today we have an app that's at the core of everything that we do. But then the big update was in 2021, where version 2.0 of the kiosk was done. Now it's a very flexible, modular setup you can build to fit your club. We are working on the simulator management. We have the driving range payment system that we'll look at. And then we're not going to spend so much time on it, but we actually also have a digital signage solution. So we can actually give the full suit for a club when you enter the club and have everything digitalized in there. So that was a quick intro to this. As I said, also with the app, we try to integrate everything into the app. So you can do your vouchers in the app, you can do your payment for the driving range in the app. You can, pretty much everything that we work with is integrated into one app. So you have everything in one place in your pocket when you go to the golf course. Regarding Iceland, we have one, I know, big issue here, And we are already working on that, and it's about the currency. Right now, all the systems are not able to work in Icelandic kroner. We are working on a solution that we will test very soon. We are already on top of that and working on having everything done in your own currency, of course, instead of having it work out of Europe. I'll start off jumping into the voucher management solution. So the voucher management solution is where you as a club can control all kinds of different vouchers you have in your club. It could be green fees, sponsor vouchers, discount vouchers, partner hotel vouchers that a lot of people also work with. You can do multi-vouchers for example, buggy rental. You can do vouchers for your pro lessons. You can do vouchers for products in your shop or in your restaurant. You can actually also use the app as a sales platform and sell the vouchers directly from the app. All of this is controlled in one backend that we will show you later that is very advanced and very flexible. So you can be very specific on how you want your vouchers to work. For example, if you look at green fees, you can set a green fee that can only be used for one date. You can set a green fee that can be used once, or it could be used 100 times. We will show you later, but it's very flexible, very advanced, so you can do the products exactly what matches your club for the products that you want to give to your members or to your guests. Through the vouchers, we are also able to do golf network vouchers. So if some clubs work together and you say we have one green fee, but you can use it at 3 or 4 or 5 different clubs, we can also manage that in the system if you have any collaborations like that. And we also, like you probably all know, work with the Golf Federation that centrally can distribute the introduction card and those vouchers to the members that should have it, and it should work in all of your clubs when people come to redeem it. And then again, okay, we can use this for a lot of products, but how can we actually distribute the products? And I talked about the app already, but you can still go in and do a printed voucher. If people want a physical green fee voucher, you can print out a card of 10 vouchers and still hand them out to the person that need them. If it's a sponsor that want physical vouchers, you can still do that. But as more and more prefer, they actually want to get them digitally. So you can send out, instead of giving 10 physical vouchers to a sponsor, you will send 10 digital vouchers to the sponsor. He will then have the vouchers in his app. From there, he can actually transfer his vouchers to his clients or his employees that he want to share the green fee with. He just needs their email address, their regular email address, and then he can transfer to them through the GolfMore app in there. This makes it very flexible. For you as a club, it also gives you a lot of insights and control, because you can actually see who has the tickets, who has they been transferred for, when have they been transferred. If you ever run any issues, you can always go back and look at the data and say, okay, I can see exactly who I issued this voucher to, who was it transferred to, which date, and all that. So you have full tracking of everything if you want that in there. Of course, it could also be a problem, because sometimes you want the voucher only to be to the person that you issued it to, and you can also do that in the system. So you can make this as a personal voucher, so it can only be used with this Golf ID. So you will not be able, you won't have the transfer function. If you put in that this is a non-transferable or non-tradable voucher, then the person that receives it will not be able to transfer it or give it to somebody else. I don't know how much you work with flex memberships and stuff like that, but in Denmark we have a lot of clubs where you are only allowed to, or you get some green fees if you're a flex member, but they're personal green fees. It's only for you to use. You cannot hand them out to anybody else. And then they just personalize them, so it can only be used by that Golf ID. I mentioned it quickly before. We can make these very flexible. You can say this can only be once, it can only be used on Friday, but you can also go in the other direction and say this one voucher for a sponsor, it's only for him personally, he's never going to share it, so you can just make one voucher for him that can be used 10 times instead of him having to have 10 different vouchers. That could also work if you sell season cards or 10 trip cards for your buggies. You could also do that as a voucher, so that can be used 10 times. If it's a free usage, you can put that in, but it will still count, so you can still go back in the system and say, okay, this member had bogeys for all year, he used it 35 times or whatever. So again, everything being digitalized, you have full tracking and of all usage in the system for this. In the system, you can also connect to other clubs. So if you work closely with your neighbor club or some other club here in the country and say, okay, you get 10 green fee tickets that you can use for your staff or for prizes at tournaments, and we return 10 tickets to you. You can actually transfer the tickets digitally in the system, and then you can issue the vouchers you received to the staff members, or print them out and hand them out as prizes at a tournament or whatever. So you can work together in a network in the system as well. So as you probably get the picture now, it is very flexible. So it's pretty much up to you, what's your needs, and then I'm pretty sure we can always find a solution in the system as it is today to set it up to match the requirements that you have for this. You probably also have some of these green fee corporations, so you get a 50% discount if you play at the neighbor club or something like that. Those we can also put into the system. If they're into the system, you also get tracking how much is it actually used. You get some of that information probably in GolfBox, but if you don't use GolfBox, you're also able to get this information here on how many actually use this cooperation that you're doing with your colleague clubs. So this was what can we use it for? How can we distribute it? Then the next step is, okay, how do we redeem it? How do we use the voucher? And you can use it when you check in. You can, of course, use. So it works fully integrated with GolfBox. You can use it as a payment there. We have our self-service kiosk that I will show you later. Of course, you can also redeem it there, and you just scan the code. You, as an admin in the back end, can go in and redeem it there. And you can actually also download the GolfMore scanner, which is just an app. So if you have an iPhone, you can actually scan people's vouchers through the app. And that way, again, it'll be redeemed. It will show up in the statistics. It was redeemed this and this date. This voucher has been used. It cannot be used anymore. So again, it's very flexible. There are very many ways that you can do this. You can also do a self-redeem in the app. And when would it make sense that you that have received a voucher decide when you redeem it? Well, it's actually if you go to a club that don't have a T-sheet, maybe you don't check in when you get there. When you come to the club, you redeem it yourself, and then if there is a check out on the golf course, you'll be able to show them, I actually already redeemed my green fee, so I paid for the round that I'm playing right now. So even without having staff, when you get in there, you can actually still use the voucher system, and people will redeem. And if they're at the 17th hole and it was redeemed 5 minutes ago, then probably there's something wrong. They were probably trying to cheat. But again, we will find solution. If you have any other needs, test us and let us know, and I'm sure that we will be able to come up with a solution.